Hey YouTube, Shuriken Shub here with a review of the LBX Val Sparos from Danball Senki Wars. Val Sparos, if you want to get all English. Val Sparos, if you want to get all Japanese. So, this is Hikaru's main LBX as of right now in the show. And it is a Knight Frame, obviously belonging to Jenock, and just like the other three, has a Multi Gimmick Sack. So really cool. I still can't take that seriously. Here's some really cool artwork up on the front of the box. And then down here we have Hikaru and Val Sparos and all that fun stuff. Shows the multi-gimmick sack with the shuriken mode and the individual little sword blade thingamabobbers. So let's go ahead and take a look. And here we are. So he's a pretty neat little guy. I still prefer Dot-Phasor and Orvane, I think, but his design is still very top-notch. Very much kind of like a jet plane sort of thing. No real propellers, but he has a shuriken, which kind of is reminiscent of a propeller, at least in this form. So it does remind me a lot of a plane, given the shoulder pads and stuff. So, very cool. His head's actually done really well. All that is plastic, so no stickers up there. Done up very, very cool overall. These little side panels do fall off occasionally, but it's not that big of a deal. I did forget these right down here are stickers, but it's really hard to tell actually, so bravo to them. The shoulder pads are on this little swivel right here at the shoulder, so they do not really get in the way of anything. They're very independent, so no real worry about messing with the articulation. Do have missiles right here. I guess you can pretend they fire because you can pop them off. But blades right here on the arms. We'll just go with arms. That do not come. Well, they come off obviously because they're just normal plastic pieces. But they don't act as actual weaponry. I mean, they could, but they don't like pop off to be held in your hand. So there we go. But like I said, overall very cool. Kind of a plain design. I think the other two pop a lot more because of their color choices, while silver and blue has been done quite a bit. But still very cool, and not too many stickers. Obviously got the Jenock logo up here, the YF01 little plain branding up here. And like I said, those pieces on the helmet. But outside of that, there really wasn't too much else. Now his multi-gimmick sack is pretty interesting-ish. That can pop off, and like I said, it is very reminiscent of a propeller. But basically, you have the shuriken weapon right here. So that can pop out, and here is the handle. So you can go ahead and grab that, and you can kind of pretend it's a shield. Wear it to the side like a blade, and then obviously, like I said, it is a shuriken, so you can kind of give it in a throwing position or something like that. So you have that option. These do rotate around to make kind of two different little blade formations. So like I said, these pop right out. You have this one, and then if you flip it around, you got that style of blade. So you can kind of do whatever you want. This one is the actual blade formation, while this is more for the storage and the shuriken mode. So just kind of keep that in mind. And these can go right into his hands. If I remember correctly, Hikaru usually battles with him in a downward sword position. So you can put them like that. You can do 1-in-1 if you want to. Doesn't really matter. Just shove that in there, and then there you go. Just kind of get them in a very ninja-esque battle-ready pose, and you're good to go. Now, the multi-gimmick sack, obviously, you're always going to get stuck with one that just doesn't go anywhere, so that's a little bit of an issue. I don't really like his too much, because when you fold it up like this, first of all, it's very hard to get it into an actual folded-up position that looks decent, and you always have this large thing sticking out of his back, which I think is a little bit annoying. One thing that you could do is swing these down, and they kind of make a little wing system for them, which looks a little bit better, but still not as good as it could, I think. but it's better than kind of having a drill sticking out of his back, which is what it looks like to me. Whereas Dot-Phasor has a very compact little brick attached to his back, and then Orvane has the Org cannon attached to his back. Those are a lot more aesthetically pleasing, I think, than having the folded up shuriken on his back. If it folded up a little bit more compact, then maybe, but as it stands, I kind of just like him without it. Or pretend there's only 2 attached or something. I don't know. A couple different things you can do, but as it stands, this one isn't too bad, just how it is. And here is the first platoon all gathered, finally. Val Sparos isn't that bad, and if you really like his design, or for some ungodly reason really like Hikaru as a character, then by all means pick it up. It is a great kit. If you are on a severe budget, since these are really cheap and kind of budgety already, if you're on a severe budget, I still don't think he is the best of the Wars kits out. I think my personal favorite is still kind of between Orvane and Dot-Phasor. It just kind of changes, but the Hunter, the Wild Frame rather, really wins Orvane over for me. But all 4 kits so far that I own, Gruzion is out. I just do not have him in my possession yet. It'll be a couple days still. Looks very cool too, and it shares a lot of similarities with his frame design. So we'll take a look at him. He does look really cool in the show, so we'll take a look at him once I get him. But as it stands, just kind of pick and choose your favorite if you're on a severe budget. It's certainly not bad, but just not my favorite. It's a matter of personal taste. There really isn't anything too wrong with the kit. Very easy to build, just like all the rest. The only other thing I have to point out is the multi gimmick sack just doesn't work as well on him as it does on these 2 guys. But that's not really his fault. It's more or less the design. If you take away the multi gimmick sack, I think he's got a really cool design with lots of posability. So if you take that away, then I think he's a very, very, very nice kit. So you can check out shurikenshowbay.com for list updates on my reviews, hauls, and of course the toy release schedule. Be sure to check out Riders, Readers, and Rambles, the podcast for the latest token news in the curious way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.